water.
How about
You
that?
know, so, and it's easy to really make alkaline water. All you have to do is use cucumbers and lemons. However, you can't store it in your refrigerator. You have to do it every time you get ready to drink your water. So it won't last like 24 hours in your refrigerator. So there's some issues with that. So most people say if you want to really go alkaline, then get a filter that goes on your system. Yes. Under your house. Yes. So that it will go into everywhere in your house. So that you'll be doing it. I gather that that's pretty expensive. Yeah. But how expensive is it to save your life? I mean, really. And nowadays, even if you sold your house, having that filter on your house will actually increase your amount of money that you can get for your house. So it's like having solar panels on your house. If you have them on your house, yes, it is expensive, but in the long run, it saves you more than it costs you.
But you know what, Rosa? It's like everything that we do, we look at the expense first. But yet, our motto is, you can't enjoy your health. You can't enjoy your wealth without your health. So you got to get your priorities. Because I know what, when we want to go to not a club, but when we're going to go to a show, I don't think we worry too much about how much those tickets cost. Or every time we want to go to a show, what comes next for most of us? Oh, I need a new outfit. I need some shoes. And with those shoes, I need a purse. Now I need a new hairdo. So when you put all of that into play,
you've spent a lot of money.
Yeah, for one show. For one night, for one show. So, come on, we can...
I know if I had a house, my first investment would probably be to put a filter and then to put solar panels in my house.
Okay.
And they do have payment plans. So,
yes, they do.
You know, it's not like you got to drop that money right now. And I pray that when I get a house, that I'll be able to drop that money right then and there. Yeah. I was listening to this sister at one of my affairs this weekend, and she said that when she signed her agreement for her house, they dropped like $10,000, $15,000 extra. Okay. So that their mortgage would be lessened. Now, you know, that's what I'm talking about.
They have all types of energy conservation programs out there. So if you want to do the solar panels, then just call them. It's free to get the in-home consultation. And just call them and see, one, how much it will cost, and two, get an estimate for the energy that you'll be saving also, because that is an investment. And I know in D.C. some time ago, I heard a couple of people did that in the row houses, but then if your neighbors do some type of renovations on their homes and they block that sun, almost like your not your cable, but almost like, what's the one where you use the help me out, like direct TV and stuff, when you have that satellite that's moving. So just like if your neighbors do something to their home and they block that sun, then you've got to call that solar company back out. So make sure you get your estimates and you do your studies to make sure you're getting adequate sun, the adequate sunlight in your neighborhood.
And that goes the same for filters for your house.
Yes, it does.
Not every filter is what you really want. Do some investigation, do some research. We're just suggesting. So just think about that.
Yeah. So
as a homeowner.
Yes, as a homeowner, that is almost as important as the investment you make with your health. But look, so last week we talked about, oh my goodness, what didn't we talk about before our guest came on? We were talking about our organic produce. We talked about our conditional and traditional produce, and then we started getting into the GMOs. And I know that we didn't want to go down the controversial line in getting too deep into the GMOs, but I did give you a website to look at, a video to watch, and that was for seeds of deception and seeds of death. And within those videos, they not only talk about the modifications that are going on with the seeds, but also with the animals. So within the modifications that they're doing to the animals, that's how that topic with the soy came up also. So you do your studies, because we are going to bring it back and start telling you how you can also be more mindful of just growing your own opposed to buying it. So as we talked about the soil and talked about some things you can do to treat the soil, I did say be wary of Roundup, one of the herbicides that they're using on the soil, well, on the gardens. Okay, so look that up as well. And we had some mothers, some concerned mothers, and some doctors, if you listen to our commercial, that they talked about some of their findings or some of the adjustments that they had to make once they found out that these type of things were going on. And all we ask is for our government to tell us. The mothers were very concerned that these type things were going into our food, and we, the public, did not know the side effects. So
FDA does not really pay attention. They get a million insights and stuff going on, and it's almost impossible for them to take police control over everything that comes their way to the degree where they have a total workout on what's going on. You see it all the time when they have the effects of, they don't really know the effects because the studies haven't been done until someone gets sick, and then 10 more people get sick, then 100 people get sick, and then 1,000 people get, then they look into it, and then they recall whatever's going on. That's the way America works.
Yeah.
So you have to do your own recall. You have to read your own, do your own study, and note your body. How does it make you feel? Like, I know I can't eat regular pasta, so I'm gluten free now. I realize that I cannot eat wheat pasta. I cannot eat regular pasta, macaroni and all that stuff. I'm talking about all forms of macaroni and noodles and all that stuff. I do gluten free.
Okay.
All the time.
Okay.
And I ask them, is that gluten free?
Oh,
and
yeah.
if they say no, I say, you know what? If they look like they're surprised, then I know, hey, what? You don't even
they don't know
the
what you're talking about.
So, no, I don't eat
Yeah.
everybody's macaroni and cheese. I don't, because I know it's not gluten free. We all do Elmo, what is that? Kraft macaroni. Some of all those different brands. If it does not say rice, gluten free, I ain't eating it.
And it should say right on the box. And sometimes I used to be a little shy when I would go to people's homes and I have to ask them what they cook their vegetables with. Because you would say, oh, you got collard greens, you got greens, you got you have seafood salad and stuff like that, and all the stuff that we're so used to eating. But now I find that I have to ask, I'm sorry, what did you cook in your cabbage, in your collard greens? But guess what? To my surprise, a lot of places are now telling me there's no meat, because more and more places are starting to come around. They're saying there's no meat in it, just seasoning, or they put some turkey in it or something like that. So
people are really more. You have to. I have to know how I feel. The food might be good, but 30 minutes later, if I'm suffering,
yeah,
it's not even worth the pleasure that it took to just put it in my mouth.
Yeah.
So I ask quickly, and sometimes it's the hardest thing not to eat. But it's the best thing for me. I get tired of having repercussions.
Yeah, the repercussions are worse. You think your meal is supposed to be pleasurable, so why would you have to suffer the repercussions afterwards? That takes away from from the enjoyment
I was
of
talking
eating.
to someone and I was saying, oh, I'm so hungry. And she forgot that I was hungry and dropped me off at home. And then when I got home, I had, what did I have for dinner? Oh, I had gluten-free 3-bean baked beans.
Okay.
And I can't remember, and quinoa.
Okay.
And it was good. I was like, okay, God, so she forgot. At least I have some good food. Now I don't have to question it, you know? I don't have to question it. And I felt good after I ate, you know? So I love the way I eat nowadays. I can eat as much as I want and not feel heavy or disgusted or any of that.
All right.
Health is my best thing.
Yes. Okay, so let me move on with our recap because I am so eager to hear about where we left off and what someone has been doing for the past week. So look, we talked about some local farms. We talked about the farmers markets in DC. I mentioned Claggett's farm in was that Clinton, the Clinton area, and then you also have Miller's farm in Clinton. Then you know down Route 5 you have your farms, not just the Amish markets, but your other farms that are further down. So again, do the research, and I'm going to come back and talk more about the soil later and give you some websites also where you will know where to buy your soil. You can know where to buy your seeds, and the seeds aren't just for organic, but the heirloom seeds, you can save them for, I think, up to like 5 years. So we're going to get more into that because it's not just today that we want you to prepare for. We want you to prepare for to make a change in your life. So those seeds, when you buy them, you won't have to worry about planting them all at one time for one harvest. You can buy should I say bulk, but you can plan your harvest and plan what you want to grow. And again, I shared last week how much fun it was for me the first time I did it with them, and to be able to share it with my grands. So now we left off talking about, I'm going to go back to the soil, and we started talking about how the soil can help, because it can help heal your body. Because we have to remember, we are from, when we go back home, what do they tell us? Dust to dust.
Ashes to ashes.
So where do we go back to? Even the animals, if you notice, when they die, what happens to their bodies? Decomposes. But it decomposes right back into the earth. So all of us, even though our vessels are walking and standing upright and we're talking, our spirits are inside this vessel, but this vessel is made up of
dirt.
There it is.
It is so exciting.
So we talked about grounding and earthing and getting back in tune with not just Mother Nature last week, but also some of the healing properties that we probably forgot about. And I know that I had some great grandmamas that looked like they never put no shoes on their feet. They used to always walk around barefoot, Rosa. And now I think I know why. Yeah. Now I think I know why.
Yeah, for the fact that most people don't really understand that your feet are the openings and the root to everything that's going on in your body. Every part of your nerve endings end up in your feet and your hands.
Yeah.
But your feet has that skin that absorbs. So we are actually electrolytes. We have a lot of energy in our body. And we're surrounded in 2016 with a whole lot of electricity.
Yeah,
we're sitting right here in the
Mm-hmm.
middle of this room, and I know if I were to take a meter and connect with this and ground myself in one of the little round holes, I know my level of electricity running through my body is off the chain. Why? Because I am surrounded by electricity. Our mics, computers,
all these
videos,
power sources,
power plugs, and we're sitting right in the middle of it.
Right.
The idea is to ground yourself.
Okay, so
ground yourself.
Before we get into your adventure, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a 5-minute, and then we're going to come back with with your video. Okay. All right. So look, our video here is
Yeah,
still
they just
going.
calling me. So,
Okay.